Hello, family. Hello, family. It's your boy Nick and Mike on the Military Brothers Talking Sports Show today. Fam, we have an amazing show for you guys today. On our show today, we have a lot of topics that we're going to talk about. We're going to get into a couple of coaching hires. We're going to get into Kelly Loeffler pretty much giving up her seat as far as being the owner of a WNBA team. We're going to talk about Dwayne Haskins. We're going to talk about those New Jersey Nets who kind of the first game of Kyrie and those guys playing for the first time, man.
Yes.
Very exciting show. I'm looking forward to having a conversation with my brother. I'm Nick.
I'm Mike, y'all.
And we welcome you guys to Military Brothers Talking Sports. Hey family, I'm Nick, and that's my brother Mike. We will welcome you guys to Military Brothers Talking Sports. Family, I tell you, I'm excited about our conversation today, my brother. As I always do, want to know, how was your day today, my brother?
Hey, every day is a blessing. You know, this is the day after, so I'm feeling real good always. I'm pumped up, man. I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, see, I'm repping my Memphis Grizzlies hat today.
Yeah, and I got on a little bit of Nebraska Corn Huskers. You know, they used to be decent, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah, Frazier. Yeah, back in the day, we won a couple of national championships with those Corn Huskers. I remember that, man. Oklahoma with that main rivalry team. So, hey, trust you me, I get it, my brother. We have a great show today, man. We're going to be talking about a couple of things, as I stated. But, you know, there's a couple of things I'm looking forward to getting into. First thing we're going to talk about is those New Jersey Nets, man. I want to know, what's your thoughts about the game? Did you catch the game?
I did. Double OT. Now, double overtime, yes. And I said to myself, you know what? Colin Sexton and them, they had a good run. This could be it because Kyrie, KD, and Harden is about to take over. And here it is, Larry Nance Jr. hitting daggers. But when it goes into the second overtime, the star power of a KD, a Kyrie, who shot entirely too much instead of giving it to KD, and Harden, they could not seem to stop a young Colin Sexton who dropped a mere 42 points.
I told you about him. I told you about Sexton. I told you.
I think you had him on your list.
Yeah, he was on my list, but I want you to continue.
Yeah, this dude was incredible. And actually, I've been watching Colin Sexton since he was in high school and in college. I believe Alabama. He has a high motor and he don't quit. He doesn't quit. He got his shot blocked a few times. He got clogged in the lane, never gave up. And the daggers that he hit, include one on KD, was incredible. It just leaves questions about this big three. Now, before Kyrie got there, Harden got there, they were 2-0, him and KD dropping 30-plus points. Harden's point production didn't rise until maybe the fourth quarter. He had 13 points in the third quarter. Here's a dude that was dropping 40 and 50 points in one point.
Interesting. And that's an interesting topic, man. That's the one thing that I noticed about that game last night. Like, man, Harden is kind of like he was deferring to Kyrie. And to me, I believe Harden needs to play the point guard position, but Harden needs to be taking more shots than Kyrie Irving. Because to me, man, it's like Harden rhythm with KD is much better than Kyrie Irving.
Sure, they played together.
And so to me, man, I just believe that they're going to have to find a system and find a way to be able to coexist. And if they do not figure this out, I believe it's going to really be – there are going to be some issues if they don't figure this out or find out a way to where they could actually coexist. That's just my take from it. But like I told you, man, Sexton has been balling this year. It's like he's a man on a mission. One thing I was scratching my head as it pertains to Cleveland, they back-to-back years they drafted point guard. It seems like Sexton is saying, hey, I'm going to take over this team, and they're really playing at a high rate. They're very efficient team. But the one thing about the NBA, man, nobody plays defense, and so that's why I was like shaking my head, like, okay, nobody plays defense. It's kind of our conversation about yesterday, man. The league has really transitioned and changed. I'm like, okay, anybody gonna play defense? Like everybody can shoot threes and outside shots, and no one is attacking on the inside, the interior of the basket. So I'm like, man, when are we gonna get to where it's a balanced game to where you have the inside as well as the outside? But it's like,
right. And I noticed that, a true baller knows not to give up. I saw KD stick his hand up on a half step mode for Colin because maybe I don't trust his jump shot. It's the second overtime. He's a youngster. I don't think I should extend my arm all the way out, and you paid for it. KD can't do it all. He tried, 35 points plus. As sooner or later, he's going to run into wear and tear. And Kyrie is just not the. When you have KD on the team and or Harden, you don't necessarily have to be that guy. Let one of them, take that heat round.
And to me, man, if I don't think it's possible. I think the first year no, it is possible. Kyrie got signed last year with the Nets last year, so this is second year.
Yeah.
So it is, dude. I would not be surprised, hearing it from me first, if they end up trading Kyrie Irving.
I didn't want to jump on that bandwagon at first, but they can win without Kyrie.
Yes.
And he's back, and then it doesn't happen. And we're talking about against the Cavaliers.
But Cavaliers they're playing pretty good this year.
Yes.
Have a good nucleus. I'm not sure. I think Kevin Love is actually out right now from an injury. But those boys are looking pretty good. That that the big man down in the middle, walking double. Drummond, they traded for him on last year. So he's giving them inside presence. Texas is doing this thing. And so now, even though disappointed that the young kid from that they drafted last year is having some issues, mental issue, whatever the case may be, and that's the other thing we can talk about. I know they want to get into this high school kids coming straight out of high school into the NBA. But my thing is that, man, you know what? I really think you need a year of development before you start dealing with a bunch of adults and a lot of money. So that, to me, I think there needs to be some type of mentorship program or something where you're mentoring young kids trying to jump from the NBA to the jumping from high school into the NBA. To me, there needs to be some type of transition piece that prepare kids to go into the NBA. If you do that, to me, it will help organizations out. It will help the kids out. It will actually help everyone out if you prepare them to start dealing with a bunch of adults and start dealing with money that they've never experienced with in their life. That's why I kind of like how the how college does it as it pertains to the NFL. They go 3 years. You're a little bit more mature. So to me, I'm not saying that they need to go to college, but to me, they need that G League. I think if they get drafted, they spend at least a year or two, at least a year in the G League where they're being mentored before transitioning into the NBA. And to me, that will help a lot of these guys out, but that's here nor there. The Nets last year, I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if they end up trading Kyrie Irving. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and he had a nice contract. Enough for him to give up $950K in fines. He told the people that they just don't understand him and they need to trust him and believe he's a baller. He's coming in to do his job. But when the dust cleared, the Nets took a L.
Yeah, and to me, man, and I'm not trying to blame it all on Kyrie. I'm not trying to put it all on Kyrie because I understand James Harden is just now getting there. I'm just looking at the rhythm of the team. If you watch Cleveland play last night, even though they pull out the win, but they played in rhythm. That's why they stayed in the game, even though the referee made a terrible call.
Yes, he did.
And that charge against Kyrie was a terrible call.
He elbowed this young guy in his face, and I see somebody talking about the G League just turned into a development system. You just spoke on that.
Yes.
That was a foul, and they pulled it back.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Ace, man. I think the G League need to be that league to where you think about it, these guys are going to college, and these colleges are making a lot of money. The colleges are hurting this year because of COVID, so they can't make the money like they used to. Even the national championship football game, I didn't watch it this year. I wasn't really interested into it because I found something else to do. So now what happens, fans are not coming out, they're finding other things to do other than you say, okay, and that's why they're really being hurt by this. But I agree with my man Ace, who actually posted, like I said, that G need to be that developmental league, because if you have the skills to go to the NBA, my thing is that, I don't want to see these guys make it to the league and they make bad decisions because they're not mature enough. Like I said, a player they're dealing with, I think it's Porter that's with Cleveland. Right now, they're looking at waiving him or suspending him. And to me, man, you don't draft a guy in the first round after his first year being your team of getting rid of him. To me, that's not what we're looking to accomplish. It doesn't do these guys any good. So to me, sometimes they need to be mentored by, some older adults that can let them know, give them advice on what they, should and should not do. I was listening to Baron Davis one day, and Baron Davis was saying, he became his own agent, and he learned from Eldon Campbell. He's an Eldon Campbell still riding around in one of his old trucks that he bought like years from being in the league. But he mentored Baron Davis, and he taught him about saving his money. So to me, that's what these guys need. They're making millions but millions of dollars, and they need to be taught how to invest their money. And that's
not only that, I'm gonna add maturity as well. You gotta get the ground level of an 82 game schedule, or 72 if you will. But the thing is, your decision making skills, you're hanging out. You mentioned investments. I'm gonna go back a little bit. I remember when Isaiah Thomas wanted to have a little mentorship over Darius Miles,
right,
who was a great player. Had he had the proper mentorship, he wouldn't have got into it with Hall of Fame legend Mo Cheeks. Darius Miles went off on Mo Cheeks. About a year or so later, you ain't hear from Darius Miles no more.
Done. He has a podcast like we're trying to develop now. I'm just saying.
Right. And the best of luck to that brother.
Yeah. Oh, and they're doing good. But my thing is that, man, he's doing it with Q. So my thing is that, man, you guys.
Yeah, Quentin Richardson.
Hard about this, man. It's like you get into the NBA and you want to be able to last. You want to be able to do, at least 10 years. Yeah. Go right up into the sunset, and your kids that don't have anything to worry about, based upon you making a lot of good decisions. Not making a lot of bad decisions. You're making some great decisions that's going to impact you in a positive way, not a negative way, in a positive way. So when you can understand that, then guess what? You want to make it a lot of decisions, bad decisions. Jerry Green was a high school player who signed development to a league contract several months ago. Hey, prime example. Yeah, right. I think a high school player, they're projecting to be the number 1 draft pick. And hey, that's a smart decision. But to me, man, these guys need a lot of mentorship. And I love what the NBA is doing. And to me, the NBA is heading in the right direction when it comes to developing these kids. So I'm letting you know, Cleveland, man, with Sexton and those guys, they're doing a lot of good things. They're making a lot of great moves. I think they're headed in the right direction.
And Jalen Green had some powerful offers, man. Power 5 guy, 5-star dude. Actually seen him play. Crowd pleaser, takes over games. And the funny part is I watched him around 10th grade. I said, okay, he's decent. 11th grade, okay, I see it. By the time he was in 12th grade, and he said, listen, I'm going to bypass college. I'm going to go ahead to the developmental league, get better. I'm telling you, man, he's a joy to watch.
And watch this. That's what Paul did. Think about it. This guy, he said, man, forget
Yeah,
that. He's been dealing with money most of his life. His dad did a great job. Some people like Ball, some people don't. But if you really look at the kid, I understood the concept. He said, dude, control your own future. So he create, triple B's. And so now I guess he has his own company doing what he's doing. Hey, some people just don't like the brashness of him. But
right.
like, okay, but this guy's built a nice little empire. Now both
Yeah,
of two of his three kids are in the league, and his other son is in the G League.
yeah,
And
and
because
hopefully he'll get picked up.
hey, you never know. So
He was
my
with the
hey, and both the Ball kids, man, I think are good point
Pistons, so
guards.
you never know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, he'll probably get with his brothers and some other people who want to see him do well.
Yeah.
And he got to grind hard just like his brothers, and good luck to him. But Ball, I've been watching him probably since he was a youngster,
Right.
and he just developed, had a growth spurt, knows the game. There's word on the street if the season stopped today, he would be up for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. He's balling out. Charlotte's going to have to make a move. Even though Charlotte decision because
Yeah.
they cannot keep him coming off the bench. I believe he really is that bigger piece. Him as well as Gordon. That's going to be Ball is going to be your point. Then you got Gordon is going to be your small forward. They're going to have to find a shooting guard. They're going to have to make a decision when it comes to dealing with Graham or Rozier.
Yeah.
One of those two they're going to have to get rid of in order for that organization team to head in the right direction. They're playing pretty good basketball. I like the head coach. A lot of the older guys who've been around for a little while, they're going to have to start developing some of these young guys. Washington, he's okay, but Washington, the guy that comes off the bench, he's starting right now. Bridges is also a guy that's coming off the bench. And one guy debated me down when they drafted Bridges over Porter Jr. I said that was a terrible decision. Porter Jr. is 6'10", can play the shooting guard, the small forward, or the power forward position.
He proved himself in the bubble. I loved his production.
If it wasn't for a bad back, the guy, he would have probably been arguably the number one draft pick coming out when he came out. Because of that bad back is the only reason why he wasn't the number one pick. So I believe Charlotte made a bad choice passing on him, and I believe they're kicking themselves in. But just like Donovan Mitchell, like I said, I should be the general manager of Charlotte. Trust you, man.
hey, give Miles Bridges a chance, man. He's a crowd pleaser. He's a crowd pleaser, man.
Hey, man, had to bring more than that to the table. I'm just saying. But hey, man, it is what it is. Hey, we're gonna transition to the next topic. Dwayne Haskins, baby, signed with the Steelers. Want to know your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, the young man deserves a second chance, and I'm glad it happened. He's a youngster. Once again, mentorship. Went out and partied. Didn't have his mask on. Got fined. He got in the game. His production wasn't where it should have been. They released him. I'm sure he's learned, and he's another one. Get with some strong guys, talk to them, get into the system, make it happen. And he has a golden opportunity with Ben on the brink of retirement. This guy, we all know that he should have been the number one draft pick, but we ain't going to get into that. And hopefully he can prove and show his stuff.
Bruh, I am with you 110%. When the Pittsburgh Steelers signed, and I said this last year when you had Jameis Winston, I felt like Pittsburgh should have signed Winston. Because to me, it would have been a smooth transition as far as the style of play that Pittsburgh want to play. With the Steelers back in the day, them, the Steelers, you're going to run the ball, and we're going to also we're going to play good defense. We're going to throw the ball down the field. Ben wasn't able to do that. So to me, I'm like, you need to find a young quarterback that can throw the ball down the field. People were worried about Jameis Winston's interceptions, but I'm like, you know what? Jameis Winston, at a lot of times, he was trying to come back. A lot of those interceptions, a lot of those wide receivers dropped the ball. So he really didn't have a dependable wide receiver that would catch the ball for him. And so, man, that becomes frustrating. So to me, Winston sitting on the bench for a year behind Ben would have served him so good for our organization. But I'm not complaining because you know what? We did sign him to a nice, cheap contract that then he can be on the team. Learn this last year. We have a new offense coordinator. Learn from this offense coordinator and really, 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 have an opportunity to be the starter in year 2. Not this coming year. This will be his 3rd year in the league. Hopefully he learned, like we talked about maturity. Hopefully he learned from that stint in Washington, because how the world you going to be out, Rivera, he's a cancer survivor. I think that's what frustrated the organization more than anything. You putting your coach at danger. Like, dude, you can't be doing that stupidness, man, going to them script clubs and stuff like that. I mean, come on. You got to be smarter than that. So I'm just hoping that he learned his lesson and he's able to mature and able to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity. It really is a golden opportunity for Haskins to really have a great future in Pittsburgh. Because I'm telling you, if you produce, they love you in Pittsburgh. That's what I call the Steeler Nation.
He got a chance, man. The ball's in his court, man. Let's go to work. Got a second chance at life. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Wish him all the best, man. Great move by the Steelers.
Yeah, that's why it's called that developmental talk. It said Green reportedly earned $500,000 for his season. Appreciate that, my man. And that's what I'm saying. That's more than he was currently making. Most guys who go in the league are not making that type of money. So I appreciate that, Ace. Appreciate that information. But like
half a mill's not bad for a teenager.
A lot of people isn't making that type of money, man. But I say that, man, you need to teach them about investing. But it's kind of like, Haskins, that maturity level. Touching a little bit about that maturity level. Also mentoring Green and letting them know, like, hey, man, listen, these are some ideas I have where you should probably look to invest your money. Put yourself on an allowance. And to me, man, as it pertains to Haskins, I'm hoping and praying that someone sat him down, man, and just had a conversation with him, like, hey, man, you know what? You probably need to really look at your future. These the contract you just signed, okay, you probably keep that sign bonus, whatever case, but it's only going to last for a period of time. Let's be smart about your money. I know watching one show, asking he talk about what he did with his first $1 million, bought his mom a house and this and that and stuff like that. But now, thank God Pittsburgh picked you up, but you got released a year after that because you were making some dumb decisions. You want to be smart.
Lesson learned. Hopefully he'll use this as a stepping stone, a springboard onto greatness, man. I'm just loving the second chance. I might become a fan. I don't know.
Well, Marcus Spears said after Haskins got released, he reached out to him. He was on First Take and he was talking about it. He said, hey, I reached out to him. I had a heart-to-heart conversation. Kind of like what we were talking about yesterday as it pertained to Karl Malone. Marcus Spears did it the right way. And I think Karl Malone didn't do it the right way. Spears said, hey, I reached out to him to have that conversation.
Great stuff.
To Zion to have that conversation rather blasting it on Twitter. I'm like, dude, you're the crafty veteran. You're the one you need to show him, you need to, reach out to him like, hey, man, let me just have a conversation with you. Hopefully I can keep you help your career and help you become a better player. Just
too easy. It's all about the approach.
All right, sounds good. Now, next topic, Kelly Loeffler is going to be selling her shares of the WNBA. What's your thoughts on that, my brother?
Well, the reason why is the issue. Okay, you're selling your share, or whoop-de-doo, we get it. But when you make a statement that you don't support Black Lives Matter, and most of those girls on the Atlanta Dream are African American, you just smack them in the face, and you expect them to play under your ownership? I think not. And those girls wore the shirt of the opposing candidate who beat her. Yes. And once hearing this, he strikes again the king. LBJ said, you know what? I think I'm going to get with some people and we're going to get a group and try to get that organization.
Hey, Carmelo Carmelo said, "Hey, let's do it." And to
Yeah.
me, man, I love the fact that those guys are thinking about doing. But like I said, man, to me, I think the NBA and the WNBA should merge. Like I said, because the men are making such, these contracts are such a large number. To me, I think they should take 1% out of everyone's contract. I mean, if they come to agree, I
Right.
know they come to the bargaining table and say, okay, I'm willing to give 1%. In order to pay these women a lot more, these women are in the community. These women are doing a lot for, out in the community, doing a lot, social justice. They're doing a lot. So I understand, the fans aren't coming out. I'm hoping the fans will start coming out to support these ladies in order to help them, because they definitely are doing their part. As you know, as it pertains to voting, most of the people that vote are women. And so to me,
Yeah.
man, we need to understand, we need to try to support these women as best as we can. And it seemed like Kelly Loeffler, she just did not recognize and understand the significance of what Black Lives Matter stand for. And so once
Right.
you have that conversation of what it stands for, then maybe you can try to see from the other side of what the people were really complaining about, why Cap actually took an actual knee, and why the
Yeah.
storming of the national cap, or the nation's capital, and then most of those guys aren't getting shot. One person did get shot. I said, but to me, it just goes to show the disparity as far as how blacks are treated and non-blacks are treated. And my thing is that one thing they're saying is that we want to all be treated the same, equal rights for everybody. One person shouldn't get treated better than another. If you get arrested for violating a crime or breaking the law, so should this other person. And as you see what happened on the Capitol, they were allowing them to come in, and everyone knows if that was a Black Lives Matter movement, it happened back in the summer, they had National Guardsmen all over the steps. But guess what?
Well prepared. Well prepared.
Here. So that
And
should never
first of
happen.
all, let me add this, because people keep saying, what if there was black people out there at Capitol Hill? First of all, black people have enough sense not to go out there. That's one. That shuts it down.
Oh,
And
they're right there. It's just we're not going to do what they did.
no,
Even though
no, that's a kamikaze mission.
Yeah.
We've just signed our death certificate. If we was to pull any of that, but what's amazing is, moving over, there was a Black Lives Matter demonstration in New York City a few days ago. The police were very, very, very rough, very rough. I didn't see that same energy in DC on Capitol Hill, though. Just thought I'd throw it out there. And back to Kelly Loeffler.
Yeah.
How dare you? I mean, the audacity to make that statement, and that you want these young Negro women, African American ladies, to play for you, play up under your ownership. Doesn't even make sense. The mentality of that, the insult, the smack in the face, the salt on the wound.
Even the white players, were even wearing. So my thing is that this is the reason why I love the WNBA. They are actually unified. Even the NBA, they're actually unified. So it's because they're saying that, hey, one band, one sound. And they go about even handling their disagreement behind closed doors.
Right.
But when you see them out front, they're all on the same sheet of music. All on the same sheet of music.
Right. cancel, or yeah, pretty much. That's right. Push the owners out. Do the same thing the Clippers did.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying about Ace. You're absolutely correct. That's what they did with the Clippers owner. You're absolutely correct. A couple of years ago.
I loved every minute. Loved every minute of it.
Yeah. So you just have to be smart about it when you're, having these conversations, or you making these comments and stuff like that. You have to be smart about it, because it can come back and bite you in the behind. And I think she felt like, being a Trump supporter, and like I tell people, I say, hey, I can have a conversation with people I agree with and conversation with people that I don't agree with. But my thing is that are you being ignorant as it pertains to the conversation? Because my thing is that it's like that fire. I'm not you putting flames on a fire. My thing is, you need to be smart about this and say, you know what? Maybe I should sit down and have a conversation with these young ladies. I guarantee you, she never sat down and had a conversation with these young ladies. They really hear their true feelings. Because my thing is that even me chatting with people who may disagree with my perspective on things, my thing is, okay, help me understand why is it that you see it that way. So
But
it allows
see,
them to express themselves.
you said, help me understand. Underline that 50 times in quotes. See, you have people who don't want to understand.
Yeah.
I don't want to know your cause. I don't want to know why there's a need because they're comfortable with what's going on in the world. Um, I'm Kelly Loeffler, and you need to love me and like it. It doesn't matter what you think, as The Rock would say. You play because I pay you. Now get on out there. And it's just not working like that in today's world. So that's
And
it. People don't want to understand because when you mentioned the word ignorance. Ignorance is when you think you don't need to learn more about the matter, and it comes under not caring. I'm rich. Girls, there's the uniforms. Get out there, be quiet, and dribble and make me happy. I don't think so. And therefore, we're going to take a buffalo stance. We're going to wear the opponent's shirt. We're going to let you know we don't appreciate what you said. And you got choices to make. Give up the ownership, sell it. Or it's like my man said, Ace Dog, we're just going to shut down shop. We canceling. We out.
my brother, I agree with you 110%. And the thing about it, you need to understand, you have to be willing to listen to people. If you're not willing to listen to people, you're not going to get anything accomplished because it's like you have the right to feel however you're feeling. But if we're not willing to listen to one another, there's no way in the world we're going to accomplish anything. It's like you're saying you're right, and the other person saying no, I'm saying I'm right, and the other person saying no, I'm right. But you're not accomplishing anything because you're not willing to have a dialogue over a disagreement and from a
Well,
different.
listen, look how many, listen, we could talk all day, but look how many people have lost their jobs. Look how many people have blown opportunities because of words or what they won't do. And as you said, it's simple a matter of opinion. See,
Yeah.
racism overrides logic sometimes. I wouldn't be willing to lose that much money for anything. Let's have a sit. I could be wrong. Let me see where you at with this and let's look at this thing. But when you're locked in, you only got one train of thought, my way or the highway. And life is about change. Life is about change, man. It's 2021. No longer will water be stagnant, collecting mold and mildew. We need fresh water coming through at all times. Learn from it.
Oh, my man want to know about the Deshaun Watson situation. Hey, yeah, we talked about the other day, man. Hey,
Yeah.
when it comes to Deshaun Watson, man, hey, I'm not sure what team you root for, but there are only a couple of teams that should not trade with Deshaun Watson. I mean, I'm a huge fan. The man does a lot in the community. Deshaun is a player. Houston is stupid to allow this to fester and turn to what is festering. That's the reason why they're looking at hiring Eric Bieniemy, because really that's who Deshaun Watkins want as his head coach. At the beginning, it weren't. So, Ace, I believe that is the reason why Houston is talking to Eric Bieniemy, because they realize you're about to lose a franchise quarterback over a lie. You had this guy believing that you were going to engage him in a conversation or engage him who potentially you were going to look to hire as your general manager, as well as your head coach. He didn't say he had to, he didn't want to be the decision maker, but you didn't even hear him out. That's what Deshaun is upset over. So to me, whoever gets Deshaun, man, you're getting to go my now. If they sign Eric Bieniemy as the head coach, I believe Deshaun Watkins stays in Houston. I believe that will allow them to save face. But Houston has a lot to build because they don't have a first or a second round draft choice. So that is going to really hurt them as far as future development and building the team in the right way. And I'm glad it kind of leads us to my our next question that the Eagles made it a selection on the head coach and the Lions as well. I want to play a video of the Lions head coach, Mike, and I want to know your thoughts on this. I'm just going to play it here. Just want to know your thoughts. One second. Well, I'd like to know everyone's thoughts.
But a majority of the lessons that I have are from him, and so I'll forever be grateful for that. I know I'm going to miss a ton of people, and so for all of you, man, all the ex-players, listen, all those guys in that locker room, man, they were unbelievable, and those are the guys. They're another reason why I'm sitting where I'm at right now. And I'm actually not sitting; I'm standing, but they are the reason why. And I'm talking about a great group of guys, good character, but man, you talk about some ballers and guys that were willing to lay it on the line for each other. And that's how you win games. All right, so let me go back. Let me start here again. I wanted this job bad because I felt like I knew this community. I played here. All right, here's what I know. Just as an overall philosophy, you're going to say, well, what's this team going to be? What's it not going to be? Here's what I know, right? I know that Detroit's made up of great people, some really good people, all right? This community is strong. This place has been kicked, it's been battered, it's been bruised, and I can sit up here and give you coach speak all day long. I can give you, hey, we're going to win this many games. I can't, but none of that matters, and you guys don't want to hear it anyway. You've had enough of that shit, so excuse my language, all right? Here's what I do know is that this team is going to take on the identity of this city, all right? And this city's been down, and it found a way to get up, all right? It's found a way to overcome adversity, all right? And so this team's going to be built on, we're going to kick you in the teeth, all right? And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right? And we're going to stand up, and then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down, all right? And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, and we're going to get up, and then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing, all right? That's going to be the mentality, all right? And
Mike.
Okay, so is it the Detroit Lions or the Detroit Red Wings? Because if this dude is not the best hockey coach in the world, teeth, kneecaps, man, stop it, WWE. Stop it, Dan Campbell. Stop it, man. You talking to some dudes about to go on the ice and go for the Stanley Cup? Man, you better stop it, man. I don't even know where that came from, man.
Mike.
Wow.
When I heard this video, it made it clear to me why Detroit has never won a championship in the history.
And they ain't gonna win.
And they will remain at the bottom. This is your head coach. He represents you. I would hear something like that, like, that's my head coach? That's what I'm going to be playing for? Dude, he's not a motivator of men. I would hear something like that. As you know, man, as you play sports and stuff like that, man, your coach gets you fired up, man, and stuff like that. After hearing something like that, I'm like, is this the NFL or is this WWE? You talking about biting, taking legs off? What's the plan? Then he said, okay, it's not about wins and losses. Okay, so what is it about? Because if you don't win, you will no longer be the head coach. Trust you me.
Yeah. He opened himself up for either or. And the thing is, that's a speech that you could probably say right after you win the Super Bowl or going into the Super Bowl. No. Relax, dude. I mean, does he need coffee, nicotine, caffeine? What kicked in?
I do not know what this guy was thinking. But like I said, to me, man, it is disgraceful for Eric Bieniemy and a lot of other players aren't offered head coaching jobs and this is what they have. Oh my God. Yeah, if you want to have more head coaches, need more black decision making. You're absolutely right. More college AD, NFL general manager. Ace, I agree with you 100% like
all
that.
around the board. It's all around the board that this needs to happen.
The board, to me, it should be mandated that they start doing. Prime example: Dallas Cowboys have never hired a head coach in their franchise history. To me, I think they should go to Jerry Jones and be like, and this is what the commission needs to do. Like, listen, your next head coach will be a minority, or you will lose your first round draft pick. And until you hire a minority, you will lose your first round draft pick every year. How is it that how long Dallas been in, playing football and they've never hired a minority? Never.
Them boys. And you know what? They're willing to do that. I guarantee that Jerry Jones will say, you know what? We'll just look forward to not getting our number one draft pick then.
Trust you me, enough fans will start complaining and bringing heat to Jerry to where because you realize Jerry Jones actually have a radio station that he comes on down in Texas. So when enough fans start calling in and they start expressing their, grievance and issues with, hey, just go and hire our black head football coach or general manager or something like that. To me, they need to start putting pressure on these general managers, on these owners to start doing a better job as far as providing opportunity for minorities. And they're not doing that. I mean, I understand the Jets, they hired a Muslim. Got that. Support that. Great. I love that. You need to make sure that the 70% of the league is minority. It's pretty much black. So
it's sad that you would have to put that stipulation on there in these times, that you have to tell someone that these are the following penalties you'll suffer if we don't get minority hires. It's just a sad day, but if that's what it takes, then hey, because we got to move forward. This is ridiculous, man. Brothers are well overqualified. I mean, my goodness, man. Most of the coaches that, let's say, HBCUs and high schools throughout, some of them and I know, these guys don't play. They breathe, eat, sleep football. This is what's needed.
Did you hear the speech with Deion Sanders? I listened to his speech when he was actually was talking about. He was so honest in his conversation. And he said, hey, listen, my focus is developing these men. He said, I know for a fact that all these men are not going to be, make it to the league. He said, but you know what? They're going to get a good job. They're going to be out into the community. But to me, you can hear it in Deion's voice.
Yeah, because he's sincere, man. He's sincere.
That's my thing. This guy, Campbell, I'm telling you, man, I'm like, this guy is a joke. I already know we're not going to win too many games.
No, this dude looked like he just had a couple of beers at a hockey game. Man. I mean, I thought Randy Macho Man Savage was about to come back to life, man. And Ace just said a thing. If you interview for a black coaching job, that's nice. If you interview for a GM, that's nice. But we're not just trying to simply fill out quota. I get it. I heard that Eric Bieniemy had 6 interviews. That's beautiful. I got my violin out, man. I'm playing it. Okay, I feel good. Enough with the warm and fuzzies that we've been interviewed. Where are the offers? Why can't Eric Bieniemy have 3 offers that he can choose from? Why once again did he get snubbed? And on that note, I heard the Eagles actually interviewed Deuce Staley for the job.
Yeah.
Now there's a name.
Former Steeler.
Okay. Thank you for the interview. Where's the offer?
And my thing is that if you start requiring these guys to clearly explain their justification in hiring people and really call them to the carpet and start calling them out, that's when change is going to take place. And my thing is that you're going to have to step up to the plate. You got to step into the plate, start calling people out and saying, you know what, this is unacceptable for you guys to have 7 vacancies and one. You fired one black coach. To me, I think the Chargers should have given the head coach one more year. Because one, they lost a lot of guys on defense that was hurt, and then you lost your rookie. Your starting quarterback was a rookie. They lost the most single. I think it's single point under 10 points or whatever case maybe. They actually lost the most game by single digits. That's what it is. So they actually had an opportunity of winning. So that lets you know. I think they end up winning like the last 4 or 5 games or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But they were heading in the right direction. So you have a lot of injuries. You have a rookie quarterback, and you were pretty much competitive. It just you lost a lot of close games. So that let me know that, dude, y'all are on the brink. You guys are on the brink. So all of a sudden, it just doesn't make sense to me. The decision that they were making.
Nose to the grindstone, held accountable.
Yes.
Why? Why didn't he get hired? Answer the why. Because interview is not good enough for me, man. And if I don't get the job, I'd like to know why. Now, I can't change my color, nor do I want to. So move that out the way. Now give me a reason why I didn't get a job. Oh, because you're not comfortable? Because you think the city will do this and the fans will do this? Most fans just want to win, I would think. I don't think Dallas Cowboy attendance would drop if there was a black coach.
My thing is dealing with these guys. Most head coaches are successful, not based off of them being a head coach. It's about who you surround yourself with. My thing is that I believe all these successful coaches, Belichick, and all these guys, and I even made the point to those guys that were talking about Nick Saban. I told them dealing with Clemson and Dabo Swinney. I said, you really understand the reason why Dabo Swinney is still competitive today, and he still remain, in the top 4 or 5 or whatever case. I said, think about this. His defense coordinator has been there with him like the past 9 or 10 years. He just lost his second offense coordinator, who actually took a head coaching job when he actually went down to Florida. And then the other head coach actually went to SMU. Those have been the only 2 players Dabo Swinney have actually lost. But if you look at Nick Saban, he's always losing coaches every single year. But if you maintain and you ensure that you are actually maintaining a system, it's going to help you be successful. So my question would be to any of them, who are you going to put on your coaching staff, or what type of system are you going to run? And if you're able to answer that question, then guess what? You can be successful. Jim, and I agree with you too, Ace. Jim Caldwell should have never been fired as a Detroit Lion head coach. That was a disgrace. That should have never happened. So I don't care what anybody said that, hey, Caldwell should have always been the head. You should have still been the coach now, because he was 88 you got rid of, and the guy that just got, he never won 8 games.
Well, to see the thing is, Nick, brothers, us, me, you, we don't get those chances. It's like the moment someone is fed up, oh, you lost 2 games in a row, let's start looking for a head coach. But then you'll have somebody like who the Lions hired. He done lost so many games that you've lost count, but let's still continue to give him a chance.
Yeah. We'd love for you guys to subscribe to our channel. This is Nick and Mike. We're military brothers talking sport. Please subscribe to our channel. Definitely be a part of us. We come on the show Monday through Friday. Usually we come in on 5 and 6. We came a little earlier today. We have a couple of obligations, so we had to come in a little bit early. But we talk sports for an hour. We're definitely going to read you guys' comments. Want you guys to engage with us, be a part of our family, because we want to have a conversation about sports. So definitely appreciate you guys. Please subscribe to our channel and to our page every day, Monday through Friday. But like I was saying, man, I look forward to what, and a prime example, someone was talking about this. Just imagine if any other any other head coach, black head coach, would have done what Urban Meyer did. Remember, the reason why Ohio State got rid of him is because of that offensive coordinator scandal, the way he was beating up on his wife, and Urban knew about it and stuff like that. They tell me any other black head coach could have done that and still.
Listen, we from Bruce Pearl to many head coaches in many sports, the shenanigans that they've done, riding their girlfriend on the back of their motorcycle, then crashing, and everybody got to find out that you shouldn't even have that young lady on there, et cetera, et cetera. Here, lo and behold, he's back in coaching. It just never fails.
Hey,
they take care of each other.
That's true. That's absolutely true, man. And so that's my whole thing about my whole premise about it is like, hey, hold everybody to the same standard. I'm not trying to get treated, better than anybody else. But if I qualify for a position, then my thing is that give me the opportunity to prove I can get the job done. And I'm like,
that's all. We like to win. We're not going to barbecue and have fried chicken in the locker room.
Yeah.
Let us ball out.
Hey, I feel you on that. Like, some people still like me. I like Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin is a great coach, but I think the time has come to where Pittsburgh need to get another head coach. And my thing is that, and the reason why I say that is because sometimes you start to lose your voice in the locker room. And the reason why I said that, when you got rid of Bell, got rid of Antonio Brown, but you signed Ben Roethlisberger to a contract extension to where we clearly can see that he doesn't deserve $41 million a year, and you hold him to a different standard than you hold anybody else. And I understand your quarterback is the leader of your team, but it is clear that this guy caught what was a major problem, and he never held him accountable to the same standard they held on everybody else. So that was my other issue. My other thing is that Joker was calling defensive plays when they lost to the Cleveland Browns. I'm like, dude, you guys didn't even have a head coach. You couldn't beat them? Dude, I'm just saying.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say this. You're absolutely right. And I asked a few friends of mine, is this it for Tomlin? Boy, them Steeler fans said, are you nuts? Are you crazy? Is this a real question? I couldn't believe it. I got shut down. I just simply asked a question. That's all. So my thing is this. You got rid of two premier players. That's all I'm saying. Now, was Antonio some problems? Of course.
Hey, Mike, 1 second. Just put a pin. Two players who are playing in the conference finals right now. Continue. Just want to throw that out there.
That's it. Accountability. You said it all. It's always been a double standard. It has to stop, and it's costing you. But like I said, you had so many people saying their percentage of winning, what he's done for the team. They've had winning seasons, including the Super Bowl. Is it time for him to leave? Of course not. The majority, about 90%, said nope, it's not time for him to leave. What are you talking about?
I wish I would have had that conversation with them, because my thing is that,
okay, I'm gonna bring you in that. I'm gonna tag you in that.
Yeah, and my thing is that it's about being able, and as you know, when you start to hear that voice, and after a while, man, you stop hearing it. I said, you know what? I'm tired of hearing it. And that's what it seemed like. I know he had the amazing quote, and my man Ben had dirt on him. Yeah, I understand that. But my thing, all these amazing quotes, I'm like, your production on the field. 2 years ago, I think he did an outstanding job. Ben was out 88. He did a good coaching job. This year, man, our offense was so stale. But the issue I had with him, this joker called the defensive plays in the playoff when we lost to Cleveland. When we lost, he was the one calling the plays. Now, your defensive coordinator was calling the plays all year long. And our defense is a top 10. I don't know where they finished up. I know we had some key injuries. Your defense still remained in the top 10. Your defense coordinator was making the call. Why would you wait to the playoffs to think that you can do a better job? In that case, you should have been calling the plays during the regular season. But it's clear that you're delusional. You're the head coach. You're trying to call it. So you think defense is a problem? Defense wasn't the problem. Offense was the problem. And you did not address the main issue was the quarterback. Our running game was dead last. Understand you got rid of the offensive coordinator and the offensive line coach. Got it. But my thing to be a motivator of men, and I started with the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens, I love this. They took a defensive tackle who was 6'2", maybe 330 pounds. They put him at fullback to help with the running game. But that's thinking outside of the box. It's like Pittsburgh didn't think about changing, doing nothing different based upon what, dude, you got to change some things up. And that's the thing. I'm glad I got rid of Fichtner, got rid of offensive linemen. Now we need to get rid of some players and start really transitioning and moving in a different
This was definitely a wake-up call for the Steelers. To start off with 11-0, then right after that go 1-5 and get put out by the Browns twice, beat by the Browns and then put out by the Browns. A message was definitely sent that change is due.
Watch this, Doc. Pittsburgh actually looked better the week before that when they had Mason Rudolph and they were switching in Dobbs than they did in the playoff game when Ben Roethlisberger was playing. And so now I'm just saying, like, dude, your offense, because Dobbs came in, they ran the run option. Ben not going to run the option, the run option play. He's not athletic enough to do that anymore. My thing is that when you have a younger player in there who have legs, then guess what? You think outside of the box. And now guess what? The running game was much better by doing that because now the quarterback is a threat. And so now you can throw the ball down the field. So to me, I'm looking forward to being the dude what Phillip Rivers just did.
Bow out gracefully.
Bruh, I'm hoping that he have epiphany. His wife slap him upside the head like, listen, you need to retire. I'm tired of rubbing your shoulders about you complaining about it.
Yeah. And, he just came off a serious leg injury and tried to come back. The mobility is not there. The mobility is not there. 17, 18 years is a good run, man. It's a good run.
Gotcha. All right, my brother, we're at the end of the show. One of you have an important shout out thoughts before we
Hey, we touched on some topics today. There's some that we need to touch on tomorrow. Can't get it all in 1 hour. So we just ready to do it all over again tomorrow, man. And everybody stay blessed.
Definitely, man. Hey, family, please subscribe to our page. We thank you guys for supporting us. Chime in. Like I said, appreciate Ace, my man. PW33ZY, appreciate you guys for chiming in and definitely posting your comment. Thank you guys. Look forward to you supporting us. Continue to support us. I'm Nick. That's my brother Mike. We're Military Brothers Talking Sports. And we thank you guys for supporting our channel. Be blessed. And we look forward to seeing you guys on tomorrow.